Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jeff, and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we are trying to do today is we are playing an Etrata deck. So, Etrata the Silencer. If you guys haven't read this yet, I know I'm probably like the last person to be playing a deck around this because I just couldn't find one. And this one actually comes from the comment section down below from Nick Talbot. And he gave it to me quite a while ago, and I've been kind of mulling it around trying to learn how to actually play this right because I always mess it up. But super fun deck. So what Etrata the Silencer is whenever Etrata deals combat damage to a player, first off, it can't be blocked. Then you exile a target creature that player controls, put a hit counter on it, and that player loses the game if they own 3 or more exiled cards with hit counters on them. So Etrata, and then you shuffle Etrata into your library. So the downside of Etrata is it's a fantastic card. 4 mana, do damage. The stats are pretty fantastic. 3/5, that's unblockable creature, so it stays alive pretty well. You exile a creature. If they exile 3 of them, they die. Like they lose. It's a fantastic card. Except for the shuffling it back to your library. So what we have is a bunch of ways to make sure that doesn't happen. So Siren's Ruse, as soon as we target as we're targeting what creature will be going into the graveyard, we then Siren's Ruse, or right before we target, we then Siren Ruse Etrata so that it bounces her back to the battlefield. She does not go into the does not shuffle into library, and then we have her for the next turn to do it again. So hopefully 3 turns of that, or 2 turns of that, and we win the game. So the one downside with this deck is that really it's if it's not a creature deck, I really don't know our plan with it, but super, super fun against any creature deck because it really works out pretty well. Some ways to draw into our Etrata because we have to draw our Etrata. A lot of Surveil triggers here to make sure we're doing what we need to do. A little bit of control in the early game. Release to Wind actually does the exact same thing as Siren's Ruse basically, except you exile the target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So we can just kind of play it whenever we want to. You do have to play it within its parameters. So if it's sorcery speed, you play it sorcery speed. Lazav is another way to get back Etrata just in case it goes to the graveyard somehow. We do have another way to be bringing it back. So that's really fun. And let's go ahead and get into the gameplay now because, yeah, this is super fun. Here we go. Alrighty, so here we are in Arena Standard against Mike Somatoisis. That's terrible. So if you guys want to have your deck featured on here, head on over to my Patreon because that's where that can happen. Man, I guess we keep it. We have Surveil for a land, some removal. We have the Etrata. So yeah, Dimir Guildgate. We have the colors. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so head on to Patreon. It's the link is in the description box down below. And anything you guys can do to help, it really does help me out a lot. I'm also doing polls pretty often. I'm not quite every day yet with those, but polls will help out a ton for. To choose which deck you want to be seeing the next day. I'm also doing a lot of my live stream stuff based off that. Ooh, Watery Grave on top. Yep, that's what we want. All right, this might actually work out pretty good. Against mono green, I mean, they do have some hexproof creatures, and this cannot target hexproof creatures, of course. So that can be pretty bad. But Pelt Collectors, we can do that. So I think Rabid Bite is probably the biggest downfall here. So we're going to go ahead and let's Watery Grave untapped. Yeah, pay the 2 life. And Disinformation Campaign. And we need to draw a way to bounce the Etrata here. And no attackers. Deadweight is pretty good. So yeah, we definitely need to draw into a way to actually bounce the Etrata. We're going to still get the counter. We're always going to be swinging in with her, I think, because we have just as good of a chance to be drawing her then as a way to bounce it. So that's a big Pelt Collector. All right, so we're going to just block here. Yep, take the 4. And pass the turn. All right, so is land Etrata. And yeah, no attackers. They have a Vigilance guy here. Blanchwood Armor. That's a good way to go. So they're going to get in with quite a bit of damage, but we will hopefully be able to take their Pellet Collector out. Let's see if they have the Rabid Bite. Oh, man, they do. All right, so Lazav will still be able to take care of that next turn. Rabid Bite number 2. Wow. That's impressive. All right. I don't know what you do about that. Oh, that's a good way to start it out. Okay. Well, we have some answers here still. So we're going to play Swamp. We're going to cast down. We're going to dead weight. And Lazav and bring back our Disinformation Campaign. I mean, that works too. We got rid of a lot of their creatures, but yeah, we'll see. So, Drowned Catacombs, do we want land? No, we don't. Yep, to the graveyard. Bring back the Disinformation Campaign. And pass the turn. Down to 7, though. That is bad. Let's see if they have a Blanchwood armor for this Llanowar. I feel like Disinformation Campaign can be pretty good here against this deck. Yep, pass the turn. Go to my turn. All right, so Release to the Wind actually helps us out here. So, man, we can turn this into Etrata, but then get rid of it. So maybe we do want land here instead. For now, we can get rid of their creature though, and keep going and Disinformation Campaign later. So let's go ahead and use the ability, pay 4, and get the Etrata here. Go to combat and swing in. Get rid of their Llanowar Elves. So that's 1 creature down. So we don't get to Release the Wind. That puts the Lazav back in here. And it is still a Lazav, and we still have the Etrata here. Oh, Etrata number 2. Alrighty. I mean, this can keep them just from ever playing a creature. So Etrata. And pass the turn. Beast Whisperer. Okay. That's fine. Yep. So we do have a Release to the Wind the next turn. So go to my turn. And this is where you have to be careful. Let's actually Disinformation Campaign first here. Get something out of the graveyard. They don't have anything else here right now. Discarding a Galta. All right. So Shift Control Shift for full full control mode here. So attack in. Yep, all out attack. Blockers, damage. All right, so now as the ability triggers, we target creature here. Yep, submit. And now before it finalizes, now we Release to the Wind our Etrata, submit. Yep, pay the mana here. Resolve. Bring back Etrata. So now they have 2 creatures with counters in exile. And Etrata, oh wait, no, end combat. Yep, do that. Go to main phase. Yes, go to main phase. Choose up to 1. And I don't know what that choose up to 1 was. That was interesting. All right. Play Etrata, pass the turn. All right. So now if they ever play a creature, which with a mono green deck, we just win. So if you ever play a creature that's not... Yeah, all right. So pass the turn. Yep, go to my turn. So with this one, and I actually am not totally sure about the ruling on Etrata. I honestly haven't played with her a lot. If I can't target a creature, I'm not sure if it finishes everything else. I don't actually know. We're going to cancel full control here. Yep, so go to island. And let's try it out. No, I guess it does still do everything. So we're just going to pass the turn now. Wait for them to have a creature here, and this is kind of the part of the deck where I feel like you need to have Doom Whispers. You need to have something else to finish out the game. Um, just because I think that those would work pretty well as well. So go to my turn. They're just gonna not play a creature until they have like a Rabid Bite or something, but we have plenty of protection. So pass the turn. Disinformation Campaign can be pretty useful as well. And if we get multiples of them, then that works as well. We can just start swinging in. All right, what's opponent thinking here? What you doing, opponent? If they're timing us out, that's pretty frustrating. Like, if you're willing to just time us out, then just concede here. All right, so yeah, I want to know the ruling here on this one. All right, so end combat. Go to my turn. Mission briefing. So mission briefing, we can bring back the nothing worthwhile. We do get a Surveil though, at least. So just to Surveil and have a chance here, we're going to go ahead and mission briefing. Put it on Siren's Ruse. We really don't need any more. It's more protection. But both those can go to the graveyard. And we'll grab... We might want the cast down at some point, just in case. In Siren's Ruse. Yeah, Disinformation Campaign. Go ahead and play that. Draw more land. Discarding Pelt Collector, Island, and pass the turn. Plays a forest, yeah. Yeah, pass to my turn. Alright, so Thought Erasure. Surveil. I mean, really we need them to play a creature. Carnage Tyrant. I mean, Carnage Tyrant is what they need. Etrata #2 is great. So, I don't know. I guess they didn't have the mana for that yet. So, Disinformation Campaign. Draw our extra Etrata. And we'll wait a turn so we can play it afterwards. So, that's fine. Pass the turn. So, they have the Gigantosaurus if they want to play it. 6 mana and Gigantosaurus. Alright, so it looks like they are conceding now. Yep. And opponent scoops it up. Awesome. Whew, alright. Alright, so I should have trusted my gut. I went and checked out the ruling, and Etrata, if the ability does not have a legal target, then the ability does not resolve, and so that goes through all of it. She does not shuffle into the library. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure enough without looking up ruling right there to go swinging in, and it still worked out all right for us there because we had so many dive downs and everything. But that is how that plays out. You can still swing in, like especially that's probably the best thing about Etrata is once they get locked down to where they don't really want to be playing creatures, you just keep swinging in, and like if they have two exiled, then it's a great way to just kind of finish out the game. So anyway, super fun deck, and I really enjoy this. Thank you so much for sending this out to us, Nick. And if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.